Hey, you got time for a beer? I know I do. Welcome to my show. My name's Jake. It's Thursday, which means I've got a new beer. This one is called Pret Wit. It's by Old Nation Brewing Company out of Williamston, Michigan. It's just down the road from me here. Uh, I mean, like an hour down the road from me, but down the road. It's a wheat beer. It says Belgian style wheat beer or wheat ale, brewed with orange peel and coriander. I read something about it was brewed, or it was the coriander was ground the day that it was brewed, so should be pretty fresh. Um, Maybe it'll taste like cilantro. I don't know. The same stuff. You can find me at TubaJake_69 on Untapped, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Tell me your stories. I like to hear them. I'll tell you about beers. You tell me stories. I'll probably tell you a story too, but neither here nor there. So let's get this thing going. I mean, when I think wheat beer, coriander, orange peel, I think Blue Moon, possibly. I think Oberon, quite probably. Mostly just because, this is a beer from Michigan and Oberon is made or has been made in the past with all Michigan products. I don't know how that's going to go with Larry Bell selling out and all. We'll see. Hopefully it sticks around. It's a little bit more clear than what I was expecting it to be. Usually a wheat beer will be more cloudy, but this one's pretty good. I had a wheat beer from Flying Dog that tasted like, well, I'd say Beerios, but not Beerios. It's like beer Wheaties. Like if you were to put Wheaties in with beer, that's what that stuff tasted like. It was interesting, heavy. This is real good. It tastes like beer, which is nice. Really light. I think it's 6.5%, if I remember reading that correctly. 5.5%. So it's fairly light, but it tastes lighter than the 5.5%. It does not taste like cilantro. It almost tastes like there's a little bit of nutmeg in it, which coriander can taste like that. It can taste like black licorice too, which is kind of strange, but I mean, it's a thing. But that's the big flavor I'm getting. It's probably a little bit of the bitter orange peel and a little bit of the coriander, the fresher coriander than what I'm used to, would be my guess, but I'm getting nutmeg, which is kind of a strange thing. If you get a chance, microplane some nutmeg, put it on just about anything. It's delicious. It's weird because it comes in little nuts. Be careful when you're doing the microplaning. Don't microplane your fingers because it hurts. But it makes a lot of things a lot better. Eggs? Put it on a little bit of cheese. Also very good. Something soft for sure. Yeah, it's good. It tastes a little bit lighter than Oberon, even though this one I'm pretty sure is heavier than Oberon. But it tastes lighter. It said something about they've been through a bunch of different kinds of barley and a bunch of different kinds of wheat so that it balances itself out. And I believe it because this is a very beer flavored beer, which is awesome. But also nothing hits too hard. It's nice and herbal. Like, well, the hops being an herb, I guess. It's a rhizome, if that helps. Probably not really. But just a little bit of hops. I think it said something about 18 IBUs. So not like most of the other stuff from Old Nation. Like you get the M43 or whatever that is, their IPA, which is juicy and super happy and is the kind of IPA that tears at the back of my throat. This is not that. Not close. It's actually a little bit closer to the B43 or whatever number that is. I don't remember which number it is. But the B one is a Brute. I think that's how you say that. Brett, I think, is also how I've heard it. But they put the enzyme in the beer, and it makes it so that it's drier, so that it's less bitter. And this is a lot more of that than it is the other. Less bitter and drier, because it tastes like more. So I've given you a couple beers that it kind of reminds me of. A story that this reminds me of. I used to know a guy that lived in Williamston. I don't know if he still does. Last I knew, he was doing stuff in and around Lansing area, so maybe he still does live in Williamston. But we went down to Fort Worth to sell books together, and we were paired up, or there were 3 of us together that worked together. Well, not really worked together. Like, we worked out of the same base pretty much, and the 2 of us lasted for the most part for the whole summer. Should I have lasted the whole summer? No. Was it a blast that summer? Yes. Would I do it again? I don't know. If Marv wasn't still at summer camp, I wouldn't have, but I really liked my time up at camp. It was a blast. Even more than being in Texas for that summer, because it's hot in Texas, especially when your truck doesn't have air conditioning. Hot. And you're outside most of the time anyway. Hot. But yeah, Adam was a really good friend that summer. For sure. Because it's hard to get going in the morning. And to be chipper at the end of the day, because getting told no 30, 40 times a day, it's rough. Real rough. But anyway, it also reminds me that I am going out to California soon. Next week at this time, I will probably be on the ocean fishing, from what my father says, which is kind of cool. I think this will be very cool. Going with my brother-in-law and his father and his brother. It should be an experience, which should be fun. It should be fun. Have I ever really been in a boat out in the ocean? I don't think I've actually ever been. I did take a ferry to see the Statue of Liberty. So does that count as the ocean? I don't know. I don't feel like it does, because this is going to be a boat in the ocean where we're fishing. I have no idea how this is going to go. It should be fun. I'm kind of hoping that it's a lot more like fishing around here, but my father says that it is not like that. That it's a lot more, I don't know. It's not like fishing in Michigan, where mostly what you do is sit around and drink. Which is kind of what I'm hoping for. I'm not going to lie. I'd really rather sit around and drink than, well, no. Sit around and drink with a pole in the water. It's a great way to fish. Whether you catch anything or not, you still got beer. Yeah, so that should be a lot of fun. I know I've seen usually on Facebook. I don't think I'm friends with Ron's dad on Facebook, but maybe I will be after this. There's a picture of him, because, you know, for friend suggestions, picture of him on a boat I would assume, I think it's a boat anyway, out on the water, I would assume, because of the way his hair is blowing. So I'm going to guess Mike likes it out there, which is cool. I mean, the Patricks are Portuguese fishermen, I would assume, historically, but I mean, they're living in California now, so. And Ron's got super interesting relatives, because apparently his dad used to be around the Apollo guys a lot. Like, he knew Buzz, Uncle Buzz Aldrin, which is kind of neat because I've got a signed copy, or I've got a signed paper or paper picture, I think, of Buzz Aldrin someplace from when I became an Eagle Scout. So that's kind of neat. Now I'm just rambling because there's a lot of this beer. That was filling because it's a lot of it, not because like it's heavy, but yeah. So anyway, let's get that back up, make sure we're still going. We are. This is a little bit longer than I want it to be. Anyway, I've got a quote for you. This one's from Frida Kahlo. She's a painter, has a unibrow historically. She said, "Nothing is worth more than laughter." Laugh. It makes you feel better. Anyway, you can find me at tubajake_69 on Untapped, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Tell me your stories. I like to hear them. I'll catch you next time when you got time for a beer.